put up all these posters of Steph Curry? What the heck?
All right, welcome everybody to another mini pod episode of ATB here. Had to check in with the guy, had to lock in, happy Selection Sunday. We got 30 more minutes of Selection Sunday. Totally crushing here. So wanted to check in with my guy, Matt. How's it going? I know you were just watching the big WBC game. How
Oh
was
yeah, I
that? How was
was.
your weekend?
I
Yes,
was. It was a beautiful
sir.
day today. I mean, I love the championship games on Sunday. Like they gave us a little taste, and it's like, oh, like we got something to it. Like I remember. I think that did they used to release the bracket like at noon, like when there was no
Yeah, it
games.
used to be very
I
early.
kind I
Yeah.
kind of like this. I kind of like this like 6 p.m. like, and they get it out right away. Like it's like
Oh,
quick.
bro, no breaks, like no like it's not like
It's like
TV,
welcome
like
to it. Here's who we
they're
got, and let's
straight to
fucking
it.
go.
Right after the Big Ten championship,
And
right
then
into
also,
it.
and then
So
obviously Team USA gets the win over the DR 2-1. Roman Anthony plus 480. Lock that in
that was a
pregame.
great bet. That was an
Lock that
amazing
in
bet.
pregame. You could put that up probably somewhere.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna put that up for sure.
yeah, the Roman Empire I could root for him now, but I know I'll hate him for the next couple years. But
Yeah, 100%, a
that's
hundred
fine.
percent. But we'll jump right into this bracket. The bubble was, I mean, it wasn't like as big of a talk as maybe it usually.
No,
It
no, I
was
would say
it
so.
was
I would
mid.
say because it was weak. It was pretty weak per
It was,
usual.
I think it was the statistically the weakest bubble ever,
Yeah,
is what
yeah. I
I've
mean,
heard.
I think you're gonna see this a lot now. I think these coming years with the expanded conferences, there's gonna be a lot of teams that don't have the best records looking, and they're
Hmm.
like gonna be on this bubble like creeping in. Like we almost had OU. Like if Oklahoma or Auburn won another game, they're probably in the field. So it's
A hundred
like,
percent, 100%, which is
but
scary.
I think they got it right. Like I love that Ohio is in the tournament, but I don't really classify this play-in as in the tournament yet. You have to
No,
reach the
definitely
final
not.
68
Yeah,
teams. So I think they deserve I mean, maybe the VCU loss hurt them. I think they would have been a true 11 if VCU didn't win. But
that's true.
yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes with these good
Yeah,
Steelers.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I looking at Miami of Ohio's resume, like the fact that they didn't have a quad one game at all, like, is tough. And but I
No
mean,
one wanted to play them. That was
no
the that
one
was
to
the
play
thing.
them. And if you go, what, they went 30, they're 31-1, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you go 31 games unbeaten. I mean, I think to me that's enough. But
Yeah,
I
the quad
mean,
one wins weren't there, but all the metrics pretty much said they're a tournament team. But
yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be,
I'm-
I guess it's good they're playing in Ohio for that Dayton game. So that
absolutely.
should be that's good TV. They should just put
Um,
Auburn in if they're gonna put Miami here. That would have been everybody would have been watching that fucking game.
oh my gosh, the world would have been tuned in to a first four game,
And if they
which
got it over SMU, would I really be mad?
no, not at all. Because why would I care? Um, the other Texas, North Carolina, state. Any thoughts on that?
I think that's gonna be a great game. I think those are two like good teams. Like they've
Mhm.
had good runs, they've had their bad runs, but I think these are two good coaches that are gonna be squaring off. I think they'll be both be ready.
Absolutely. I mean, the Wolfpack. I mean, they were like pretty comfortably in the tournament probably what 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
and then they crumbled down the stretch, which really hurt them. And Texas has been kind of like I you could have said to me, and I was listening to the committee chair because I didn't know these two teams. I forgot these two teams played in Maui earlier this year.
uh,
But you could have told me in Maui that Texas, like I got the vibe in Maui from Texas that they were going to be a bubble team. Like they were just kind
yeah,
of like on this line the entire time. And I mean, the SEC is a tough conference. And unlike Auburn, they just had more wins to go along with this like tough resume and quad one resume. So yeah, so I'm excited for that game. I think both teams will, like you said, they're very good competitive teams, and I think they'll play some pretty high level ball um around there. Is there anything else bubble wise you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we could talk about the Pirates briefly. They had a 0.001% going into the day, but they're pretty much the only team that really wanted it. I mean, they could have had it in so many parts of the season. They could have been firmly in. Like
So many times.
great turnaround, 7 wins to 21 wins. But that 21 wins should have been like I'm not saying this facetiously. Like they like lost like a couple of close games. They were up big in 4 other games, 5 other games
Multiple, yeah. That
against
just shouldn't have been
UConn,
lost.
St. John's, Creighton. They're up against USC for most of that game, and
Yeah.
just slipped away. Yeah,
And I mean, like you said, great turnaround. And I mean, shout out Shaheen for winning Big East Coach of the Year, and he definitely deserved it. But I mean, I just get so frustrated because it's the same. It's been the same problems for the last 3 years. Like, they're such a good defensive team. They play their asses off, but it's just like it's free throws, it's turnovers, and it's the lack of like innovation on offense. Like, I never have been watching a Seton Hall game and be like, that was a good set that they just ran there. Like, that was cool. I've literally never said those words ever in life. So I think that's the next step for the Pirates. Obviously, like the crazy thing, I was after we won the quarterfinal game this year, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, wow, is this like before we actually won, I was like, wow, is this actually our first win since our freshman year, like in the Big
yeah.
East
That
tournament.
was
I was like,
Shaw's first
wow.
win. That was
I
Shaw's
was
first win.
like, wow, it's felt dark around here, and like, yeah. So I mean, shout out to the Pirates. We You just gotta hope for brighter days. But
But
that's
yeah,
all. That's all I got on the Pirates. Which region you trying to start in?
we could start in the East. We could start with the number one overall seed and probably the
Yes.
best region. Everybody's freaking out about this region.
Everyone's going crazy about the region. I mean, legendary squads,
I didn't.
legendary
Did you react
coaches.
like that when that came out? When it came out,
No, no. I
I didn't
was
either.
like,
I didn't
I
either.
was like, I was like, cool region. I
Because I
mean,
think there's a couple they're good teams. I think there's a couple overrated teams in this region for sure.
I think St. John's getting a 5 seed kind of
It looks
was.
bad. It looks bad when they just smoked UConn and they beat them 2-3 this
Mhm,
year, and they're in the same
mhm.
region with UConn being a 2 and St.
Yeah,
John's being a
which
5.
is, yeah.
I think that just got
It's
magnified, but I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I don't think
That big
it's
of a
that
deal.
big of a deal. I think they could have been on the 4 line possibly. Like, I probably would. I mean, the fours are strong, but like Nebraska had a good. I don't know, but I think they could have been on the 4 line.
I think
But
yeah, I think all the teams on the 4 line are probably better than St.
yeah,
John's.
that's true. That's true. That's true. Um, but yeah, but we got Duke going up against Sienna and Gary
GMAC, my
McNamara.
boy.
Yeah, Syracuse legend. So that'll be a good matchup. Ohio State TCU, which are two teams that are playing very well down the stretch. That'll be a great game. I they TCU in that matchup because
Well, I mean, I guess so. I guess you're a little biased, but I would not agree there. I think Ohio State's playing great ball right now.
they are. They
Bruce
are.
Thornton's a March guy. Like you look at him, it's like March.
That's very
So
true. That's very true. I'll
that
give you
that I
that.
think that Duke Ohio State game is gonna be really really close if that happens. It's gonna be really really close,
Hmm.
but I think Duke's gonna win. I think
Yeah, I think Bruce could potentially give Duke problems. I
they gotta
I
get
feel
healthy.
good. I
Gotta
feel
get
good
healthy.
about Duke, but I just feel like the guard play was already a question without Caleb, and now Caleb Foster is going to be out. And I mean, Caden Boozer played well in the
He did.
ACC tournament, so I mean, we'll give him props for that. But I mean, multiple games in high pressure moments in March could be tricky. So we'll see how that goes. St. John's, Northern Iowa. Um, Kansas, Cal Baptist, Louisville, South Florida. Any thoughts on those games? I know we were just
Uh,
talking.
I really like South Florida. It might be because they played today and they looked really good against Wichita State, but there's been a lot of buzz throughout they dominated the AAC, which was what it was down to be fair, but this team has a lot of Power 5 transfers. They have the athleticism that could translate to this type of game. Like March Madness is all about controlling the pace. Can you hit shots? And do you have the guard play? And that's what they have. They have a bunch
Yeah.
of guards. their coach Brian Hodgins, he's definitely a hot name right now with all the job openings. This game is in Buffalo. He's from Buffalo. That's his hometown.
Yeah,
So this will
yeah.
be a very personal game. I think the boys will be fired up in Louisville. I mean, they're a very good team, but Mikhail Brown's been out. Ryan Callow's missed a game. McNeely's been on and off, and their chemistry's kind of not clicking at the moment. They do have a couple days here to get it right, but I think the Bulls have a great chance of winning that game, and I think if we go lower in the bracket, Michigan State, if they match up with the Spartans there, I like Izzo, but the round 32 seems to be his kryptonite of as of late.
Hmm.
So that would be a tough matchup. Um, Going down UCLA, UCF, I think that's gonna be a great game.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, electric game. Like I'm very excited. UCLA's banged up and obviously Bilodeau and then Donovan Dent set out the second half of the semifinal game in the Big Ten tournament. So you hope that he's gonna be it seemed minor, so it seems like he should be back. Um but I think that game's gonna be great. I watched UCF this past week and they play great ball as well and Dawkins is an amazing coach, and so I think they'll give UCLA a run for their money. Um, and I think this like bottom quadrant of the East region will be cinema truly because I think, like you said, UCF can make a run. Um, I don't see Michigan State making much of a run, and maybe that's biased, but I mean I think even if they were to play Louisville, I think that's a very tough that could be a very tough matchup for them. I mean, I like you said, like Louisville's a pretty volatile squad just because you don't know like who's playing and how connected they feel. So you never really know what you're getting out of Louisville, but I think that could be a tough matchup. Um, and I mean, if we were to get Mick Cronin versus Dan Hurley in
oh,
a round of 32 game, I mean,
I wouldn't want to ref that game. I would not be want
like
to be wearing
like
the
like
stripes on that court.
two two bulldogs just going at it. I mean, that would be crazy. So yeah, so this region looks really good. I'm assuming you got Duke coming out.
Yeah, I do have Duke coming out, but like,
Hmm.
cause I think there could be Mattis on the bottom region, but I don't see any of those teams beating a Dan Hurley squad in March that's talented and healthy.
Hmm.
So, and I think that matchup with Duke, I think Duke would just overpower UConn at this stage of the year.
Yeah, yeah, sadly, and I think UConn's kryptonite, I think, has proven in the Big East championship game is their turnovers. I mean, this team does have a tendency to turn it over a little bit when they get uncomfortable, and I just think that Cam Boozer would just do work, and I don't think Duke's like the most disruptive team defensively, but they get after it when they need to, and so I think that they would do enough to get past UConn in a game that I would think would be pretty tightly contested, but the Blue Devils would pull out and head to Indianapolis for the Final Four.
But
Any more thoughts on?
they need Big Pat back.
Oh, a
They
hundred
need
percent,
Ngongba back because if
a
he's not
hundred
back and they
percent.
face a St. John's, if they face a UConn,
Mm.
that's a tough matchup.
Oh yeah,
If you have
no,
no
because
bigs to bang,
yeah, no, because you know fucking Ejiofor and Bryce are gonna be coming hot, and Patino's gonna have the guys ready if that were a potential Sweet 16 game. So yeah, I'm excited for sure for the East region. Are we good to move to the
yeah,
West?
yeah. You pick the next. Oh, you want to go west? We can go
Yeah,
west.
let's go west. Let's just go west. Arizona, they're the number two overall seed in the tournament, uh, and they're the one seed in the West region. You got Villanova, Utah State. Utah State is a very good team.
Yeah,
Um,
they got shafted a little bit. I would say
yeah, I
getting a
mean,
nine.
being on the nine line is kind of crazy. Um, Wisconsin High versus High Point. High Point is a very good team as well. The Badgers played, I mean, super well in the semifinal against Michigan in the Big Ten tournament, but I mean, I think they got a matchup problem on their hands with High Point, which could be dangerous. Potential upset there. Um, SEC champion Arkansas is playing Hawaii, which I think could Hawaii's a good team, but I got Arkansas in that game, and then BYU versus the winner of Texas and North Carolina State, Gonzaga, Kennesaw State, a Miami team that's playing really well, but they got to play Missouri in St. Louis, which I think will make for an interesting atmosphere. And then Purdue versus Queens College, or is it Queens? I think it's Queens
Queen's
College.
University. It's a
Queens
uni.
University. Yeah, it's Queens Uni. So yeah, what stands out? What teams stand out? Players. I texted you immediately when this came out. I was like,
This,
what West Region just buckets, just straight buckets.
this was the region that I looked at. I was like, wow, this is a talented region right here. Um,
Hmm.
I think that 4-13 and 5-12 little quadrant is the best. That you're gonna get the best games of the first round in that quadrant right there. High Pine is a really good squad, like you said. Hawaii's playing some hot ball, and I mean Wisconsin and Arkansas are playing the best ball they've played all year too. So
Yeah,
I mean, other than that, I think the bottom of the region could be a little madness as well. I think BYU and Miami, I think can make both make runs. They're both making runs in my bracket. I have them playing in the Sweet 16 against each other. There's a 7-6 matchup. I think Purdue's
mm,
gonna. I think Purdue might run out a little steam going into that round 32 matchup with Miami just running and gunning. So,
yeah.
and I think if AG Debenta wants to take over March, he could.
He can do it. He's very, very capable of it. Yeah, I got BYU making a little run here. I got them beating Gonzaga in the round of 32 after they get by the round of 64. I just think I think when you got AJ Depends, I mean they still have Rob Wright. And I'm not particularly impressed by this Gonzaga team. I mean, they're very well coached, obviously, and they're fundamentally based, but I don't think they're the juggernaut Gonzaga that we always think of and that we always see. So I think they're a little bit vulnerable to maybe a BYU team that's, I mean, played a bunch of high level competition all year in the Big 12, and so they're used to this, and so I don't think that they'll blink. Like you said about Purdue, I mean I think we saw probably the best version of Purdue today in Chicago in the Big Ten championship game. But I am a little bit worried about that round of 32 matchup, whoever they play. I mean, if it's Miami, they got to deal with those guards. They got to deal with a team that plays with so much confidence, and it's just a really well put together team. And then Missouri is playing so well, and that round of 32 game would also be in Missouri,
Yeah,
correct? I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, if Purdue's got to deal with in a hostile environment, a tournament game, I think that could be scary for them. So I think Purdue's that bottom tier of the bracket's gonna be a dogfight. And I mean, Arizona has just been the most like wire to wire, pretty much dominant team. Um, and so I veer away from saying I think anyone can really beat them. I do think if Wisconsin or Arkansas were to be able to make it to the Sweet 16, I think that either one of those teams will be high and will be a very dangerous opponent for Arizona in the Sweet 16. But ultimately, I do have Arizona coming out of this portion of my bracket, but I have them very slimly over Arkansas in the in the Sweet 16, and then I got them beating BYU in the early date, so to punch their ticket.
yeah. I mean, the only thing I see Arizona going out before the Final Four is if Darius Acuff has like 45 points. But
That's literally it.
I don't think Arkansas is going to make that game. I think Wisconsin's going to beat them in the round of 32. And I think in the bottom of the bracket, I said that I think BYU and Miami are going to match up, and I think that's going to be a great game. But I think BYU also moves on to the Elite Eight, but I also have Arizona going to the Final Four.
Yeah,
Um, bit chalky, but I think that's
I
probably
know, and I hate the chalkiness sometimes, but it's like it's just hard to really see anybody really topping Arizona. I mean, I think they leave themselves very little room for variance just because they don't shoot a lot of threes. Like they really play into their strength of like pounding it inside. The only people that are gonna really shoot threes on their team are Burries and Delorso. Um, and so they're really gonna play through their bigs, and their Koa Peach is going to go to work. and you just gotta have to deal with that front line, which is a hassle. And so yeah. So if that's all you got for the West, I'm down to move to the Midwest.
Which one is? Oh, the
Michigan,
Wolverines.
Michigan.
It's the
Yes,
Wolverines,
sir.
huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think they got a favorable draw here in their top region. You got them playing the play-in of what is it, Prairie View or the other one?
No, it's
Oh,
UMBC and
well,
Howard.
if it's UMBC, then that's a little scary, but I don't think that's the UMBC of 2018. But then you got Georgia versus St. Louis. I think that should be a good game. Both teams that are not
Hmm.
particularly playing their best ball of the season, but two good teams
Hmm.
nonetheless. Texas Tech. I mean, I don't know what type of team we're gonna get there with no J.T. Toppin,
I got the
potentially
zips. I got the zips. I
potentially
got the
no Christian
zips.
Anderson in the first round as well. But Akron is a great team and a two-bid MAC. Love to see it. And
Yes,
then we
sir.
have, I think this is going to be my upset of the first round in this bracket, with Hofstra
Mm.
going up against the Bama.
The
The
Bison, the Bison,
the, the what? The
the
what?
Hofstra, they're the Bison.
No, they're not. They're the Pride, dude.
Oh, my
They're the
bad.
Hofstra Pride,
Whatever.
dude. They're a pack of fucking lions or whatever they are. That's a Pride. But the guard play in that game is going to be insane. I mean, these guards on Hofstra put up points, and I mean, we don't have to say anything about LeBaron Fowler and Aiden Holloway. They could put up points in bunches, but Davis and Edman for Hofstra are two bucket getters as guards, um, and I think that's a team that they got a favorable draw because if they went up with one of these more physically empowering teams that are on this four line instead of Bama, I don't think Hofstra would get past them, but I think this is a great matchup for the Pride. The
Yeah,
Pride.
absolutely. And like you said, the guard play just in this little two game bracket with Texas Tech and Akron and Alabama and Hofstra is just going to be cinema. And like we have talked about a bunch of times, guard play in March is what you need 100%. And I think that that's going to be an excellent display of guard play there. And as we move further down, Tennessee will play the winner of Miami, Ohio, and SMU. And then we got a really good Virginia team playing Wright State. Kentucky playing Santa Clara. Spoiler alert, I have Santa Clara in that game. And then rounding it out with the two seed Iowa State playing Tennessee State, who's coached by
Nolan.
Nolan Smith, who in his first year has vaulted this program into the into the dance, which is really cool to see. Um, I honestly got I thought about it for a long time in this Tennessee versus potentially Miami of Ohio matchup. Um I thought about it for a second, but I don't know if I don't know if I could bring myself to really believe it. But yeah, that and like I said, I got Santa Clara. So those are my two maybe upsets of the bottom portion of this bracket.
My
Um
my reaction to this bottom portion was, wow, they gave Rick Barnes another Elite Eight run. That's crazy. I have
I mean,
Tennessee. I think they got a favorable matchup. I'm not the particularly biggest fan of UVA. I mean, I think they're a very volatile squad. I'm not
mhm,
impressed. I think the bigs are pretty good, but not great. I think the guards are good, but not great. And I think Jacoby Gillespie is going to be the best player on that floor in that game, and Nayament's been playing his best ball as of recently. So I think that
that's
squad
very
is
true.
warming into a little tight knit group. But and Rick Barnes just he gets to Sweet 16s like in his sleep. So and
Mhm,
then
mhm.
if he gets, I love that matchup. I don't know if it's an Elite Eight. I said it in that little pre-log, but the Iowa State's a really good ball club, man. They play some ball, and I think it was crazy how they were a five seed in the Big 12 tournament, and they're a two seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just goes to show the Big 12's strength and how deep and good the Big 12 is. You're right about Virginia, and I think the difference in conference play. I mean, Tennessee playing against in the SEC with some of the best players and guards in the country, I think will help them to get over what Virginia does to teams and what they've been able to do in the ACC. So if that were to be a matchup in the round of 32, I would definitely lean Tennessee. Um, and yeah, I mean that potential matchup of Iowa State versus Tennessee. Um, in the Sweet 16 would be a very good matchup. But I mean, like you said, Iowa State's a great ball club. I think it's going to take a pretty good team to beat them. Um, and so I got them going to the Elite Eight and facing Michigan. Super chalk again, but I just can't see a team beating either Michigan or Iowa State in this bracket, in this part of the bracket. So that just kind of what went into
Yeah,
my
I th-
thinking.
I think the best shot that Michigan would lose would be Texas Tech if they were fully healthy, but I don't think that's the
Yeah.
team we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A fully healthy Texas Tech team would give Michigan some problems for sure. For sure. For sure.
If Trey Kaufman was doing that, what do you think JT Toppin would have done?
JT Toppin would give us work, dude.
but
Work. Absolute work.
how about Robbie
Um
Avila? If we get Robbie Avila versus Ade Mara, that's that he might take him to a little school and give him a little lesson.
that would be tough. I hope to see Robbie make a little bit of a run and at least get past UGA, um, to see the Wolverines in potentially in the round of 32. I think that'd be a great matchup. I'd love to see that. Um, and who you got coming out the Midwest?
I mean, I got Michigan too. So I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Got you. And now
wait, no,
the
I'm gonna
last
change it. I'm
oh,
gonna change it just to go against you. I'm gonna go with the
Iowa
Cyclones. I'm
State.
sorry, no,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cyclones.
No, I don't apologize. I mean, bro, I'm literally like, if I was probably thinking super rationally here, I'd probably go to Cyclones. But like my fandom just won't allow me to do that. But yeah, so Midwest will be very good. And now moving to the South region, the final one seed, the Florida Gators, the reigning national champions, uh, will play the winner of the play-in of Prairie View and Lehigh. Um, and then we got Clemson versus Iowa, which I think will be a great 8-9 game. Excited to see what Bennett Sturts wants to do in March. I think that could be a great game. Vanderbilt, who I mean, up until today was on a heater, uh, going through the SEC and so far in March, we'll play a pretty good McNeese game, and we get our boy back, the
Yeah, we get Aura back,
Orman back.
but the doors are one of my
Orman.
squads, so it's like I
Yeah.
love Tyler Tanner, I love Duke Miles. If the other like side characters could just get the fuck out of the way and stop taking shots when the game matters, like that would be greatly appreciated.
No.
Jalen Washington, stop shooting the ball. And AK Okoriki, well, who do you think you are, brother? Like I don't even know who you are, and you're fucking taking shots out of Duke and Tyler's fucking hands. Like what are we doing here? We're playing Darius Acuff on the other side, dude. Like check your role,
Like,
all right?
stop shooting. Like, please stop. I was watching that game too, being like, I don't know why. If the shot's not going up by Tanner, Miles, or Nickel, and
Yeah,
it's
oh
not a
yeah, Tyler
layup,
Nickel.
I don't want it.
What was the text
So
I sent you about Tyler Nickel?
you said I want my kids to. I'm gonna teach my kids to play like Tyler Nickel, which was text of the day easily. That was hilarious. Um, and then yeah, and then we got Nebraska and Troy, the Huskers looking for their first ever uh uh NCAA tournament win. And we got the hobbled Tar Heels versus VCU, Illinois versus Penn, who had I missed it, but they had an electric
Oh yeah, I was
Ivy
watching.
League
Always foul
championship
up
game
three,
today.
coaches. Always foul up three. DJ
That
Power
is that is
comes up the court. He already has 40, and it's fucking let him shoot the three to tie the game. Why not? Fucking swish.
why not?
Season ending. You could have been playing in March. Fucking
Oh,
idiots.
the most highly contested, and you just know
I'm
it's the
calling
that's
Yale. I'm calling the Yale coach an idiot. Look at this. Look at this pod.
um yeah, always follow three. And then we got St. Mary's versus Texas A&M, and then the Cougs versus Idaho to round out the bottom of the South region. Anything that stands out to you here? I know the Florida's playing in Tampa. I will say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's gonna be favorable to them starting in Florida. I think.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be hammering Iowa in that game. I've not been a fan of Clemson at all this year.
100%.
I think that the ACC might have a horrific tournament. They could line up to be that. I don't think
Hmm.
they get past. They definitely don't get past the round 32. I don't think
No,
UNC gets past the round 32. I don't think there's any chance of
no,
that happening.
no shot.
And I like VCU in that game for sure with no Caleb Wilson,
Hmm.
and then I think
Caleb
Illinois.
Williams.
And I think that St. Mary's Texas A&M is gonna be a really good game. That's Buckyball against. I mean, the Gales are always in the 7-10 game. It seems like so.
Literally
Uh,
every year.
and then obviously my preseason national championship pick and might be my national championship pick still. Cougars are at the bottom of this
Mm.
bracket, and I mean I would love to see a game. There's a chance for a national championship rematch in this region, so that could be
Yeah,
enticing.
I think a potential matchup is that Iowa Florida game in the round of 32. I mean, you saw what some elite guards just did to Florida's elite guards when the Commodores played Florida in the SEC semifinal,
Semifinal,
correct?
yeah.
Semifinal game, and I mean Bennett Sturts is as good as any guard in America. So I think that could be a great matchup, a potential Vandy Nebraska matchup in the round of 32. I think could be amazing as well. And then yeah, I mean, I got Illinois getting past VCU in the round of 32. And yeah, I mean, I got Houston obviously making a run. I think they'll take care of Idaho, take care of whoever comes out of that St. Mary's Texas A&M game. And then should be a great if it happens, it should be a great potential matchup with them in the Sweet 16 with the Illini. But the Illini are very good, but I think they're a little bit too volatile, and I think they'll just be overwhelmed by Houston's level of defense in a potential Sweet 16 game there. So I mean, again, chalk, but I got it coming down to Florida and Houston in a rematch of the national championship game from last season. And I got the same result. I got Florida. Actually, no, I don't. I got Houston.
Oh
I got Houston. I got
yeah.
Houston. I got Houston.
uh, my one take out of this bracket that I really like it, but I don't like it at the same time. I really want the Cornhuskers to get to their first NCAA tournament win in school history,
Absolutely.
but I don't think they're
Absolutely.
gonna. I don't think they're gonna do it. I think Troy's gonna beat them. I think the 13 seed Troy Trojans are playing great ball right now, and I think the
Mhm.
Cornhuskers, you could say, are playing their worst ball of the season.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
just don't think. I think they might have peaked too early. We say in these games that we watch, they made their run too early. Like you can't go on this
Yeah.
12-0 run with 8 minutes left. You made it too
Yeah.
early. You can't
Yeah.
you can't start 22-0 and then finish 26-6. So it's
Yeah.
like you're under 500 in your last 10 games, and that just doesn't bode well in March if you're not playing your best ball. And then especially I don't think there's any chance to get to the Sweet 16 if they have to play
No.
Vanderbilt
No
or
shot.
McNeese. I think McNeese would probably beat them too. But
Yeah.
and then I would love. We talked about the if we can have a round three of Florida and Vanderbilt, that would be sick. But I
That'd
think
be
Florida. I think
amazing.
Florida would take 2 out of 3 there. And of course,
Yeah.
I got the Cougars coming out of the region. Like these are my these are my dogs. Kingston Fleming. So let's shout them out again, as we do on every episode of this podcast. It
Every
feels like
pod.
I
Every
love that
pod.
dude. And they're these guards, Sharp and Uzin, have not been playing that well, but they're March players, so I gotta trust them.
That's true. That's very true. And so it all comes down to Indianapolis in the final four. So what? So we consensusly picked Duke, right?
Yeah, yeah,
We consensusly picked the Cougs. So we'll just
yeah.
start on in that matchup. If it's Duke in the Cougs, that was a national semifinal. That was the Final Four
Yeah,
game
that would be a
last
Final
year.
Four rematch back in the Final Four.
Final Four rematch. Who would you take? Who would you take this in that game?
I'm taking Houston. What are you talking about? Like these are my dogs. I'm riding. The spoiler, they're probably my national championships champions. So, um, this team, I said if there's any year that they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it this year. They they
This is year.
they don't have. They've never had this blend of veteran leadership with freshman standouts. I think Sanak could play his best ball in this tournament. He played very well in the Big 12 tournament. So I think Duke would. I think the injuries. I think they would get healthy, but they might run out a little steam. So they're not the most deep team. So I think the Cougars
Absolutely not.
are
Yeah,
gonna.
I think I think in that matchup, it would definitely favor the Cougars. I mean, I don't think anybody on Duke's team. I don't think any of the guards on Duke's team can guard Kingston Flemings, and I think with also having Emmanuel Sharp and Miles Uzan, players that have been there, done that, um, in those roles. I think that they'll have great games, and then just bodies to throw at Cam Boozer. I mean, you got JoJo Tugler, you got Sanak, you got so many players that just come in and compete and play, for the Cougars, and I think Kelvin would really have the boys ready to play, and I think that they could definitely be the Blue Devils in a national semifinal matchup, and head to the national championship game.
And one more thing,
Uh,
I think Houston at all times is a good matchup for Duke because Shire's one thing is that we're going to control the pace and we're going to play our ball. Houston kind of
mhm.
plays that similar kind of ball, so it's
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
think I think they're very comfortable in what Duke wants to be comfortable in, and I also think Houston gets into these stretches where they lead the nation in every year in kill shots, which are 10-0 runs, and I think
Hmm.
they're just prone to making one a game, and a type of game like that, I think Houston would win again,
Absolutely.
again.
And so if we on the other in the other national semifinal game, we consensusly picked Arizona and Michigan.
No, I got the Cyclones, brother.
Oh, no, no, no! You had the Cyclones. You had the Cyclones.
A rematch,
Um,
a rematch of a game we just saw a couple days ago of Jaden
yeah,
Bradley hitting a shot at the buzzer to send the
yeah.
Cyclones home.
Potential game of the year there that happened. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it if it was Arizona versus the Cyclones first,
Okay,
and then we'll move into it if it's Arizona Michigan. Um, Arizona Cyclones, like you just said, we just saw this matchup in the Big 12 semifinal game in the tournament. Jaden Bradley, Rochester's own, makes a tough game-winning shot. Um, you think it goes? Um, Honestly, if it I don't know. And that's like the biggest coin flip of a game. If I had to if I like I don't know who I would pick. I mean, two teams that know each other so well because they play in the same conference, and two teams that compete, two teams with elite guard play. I mean, and in that game, Braden Burries played terrible. I mean, he didn't make a field goal in the semifinal game of the Big 12 tournament. And so you think about maybe if he plays better in that game, and um, I don't know. I guess I would reluctantly pick Arizona, but I could 100% see a world in which the Cyclones get back in the Final Four. But I would reluctantly pick Arizona in that matchup.
I would love to pick Arizona in this game. I think in this final, I think Arizona, the Tommy Lewitt era has been brewing for a while now. I mean, they've had their early round exits. They had a good year last year. They ran into Duke. I mean, I think if they get a shot with a favorable opponent, not favorable, but a opponent they've seen before, as I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
opponent that they know, an opponent that they've studied before. I think this would play favorably well in a big environment, a big arena, big stadium, whatever. Where's the Final Four? Fuck, I should have know. I should know this kind of
It's
stuff.
in Luke. It's probably in Lucas Oil, no? Because they always
Oh,
do it in
yeah,
the football stadium.
okay, yeah, yeah. So I think Arizona would pull out the dub. I think they. I don't want to say they blow them out, but I think it would be a favorable. I would definitely take Arizona in that game if that was a possibility. So I would have
Okay,
Arizona versus Houston in my natty. But let's talk about if it would
gotcha.
be Michigan
If
against
it,
the Wildcats of
and
Arizona.
and
Thoughts?
the reason I wanted to do that is because even if it was Arizona versus Michigan, I take Arizona.
Wow. I thought this was the best team ever. I thought this was like the goaded team.
I just like
It's the Monstars, isn't it?
I
Their Ken
just
Palm's out
think
of control, man.
their kid bombs on
That's all I've heard.
it. I think I think this Michigan team is very good. I think they're great, but something about them just does not scream national champion to me. And I just I just see a few too many cracks, a few too many times that the defense just seems to like stop. And I think the offense gets a little cluttered at times. I think if Elliot's not playing perfectly how we need Elliot Cadeau to play, and if Namari's a little bit off, or if Trey's just having a freshman moment and isn't off, I think they'll leave themselves enough room for error on offense. And I think it sometimes takes Yaxel a bit too long to realize that he has to take over the game offensively, because I think he plays so deferential seems to have like a negative term around it, but I think he plays into what the team's system is and how they want to play. They always want to play through Mara. But I think that can slow him down and kind of put him in this box sometimes. I think it takes him a little bit too long to be like, all right, dude, I gotta be the one to score here. I gotta look for my shot, I gotta hump my shot. And I think in a game against Arizona, we would need Yaxel Lindeborg to be the best player on the court. And not that I don't doubt that he could do that, but I don't know if he can do that for a continued 48 minutes. And in a point guard matchup of Jaden Bradley versus Elliot Cadeau, I'm taking Jaden Bradley. And Braden Burries versus Lamari Burnett, I'm taking Braden Burries. And I think the front courts would bang. I think they go at each other's throats all game. But we just saw what TKR did against our front line. I mean, is Koa Pete as skilled as TKR in like the shots that he can make? Maybe not, but I Koa Pete's a great player and he's a great freshman, and I think that he's physically imposing and would really hurt our front line. Um, and so yes, I would think that the Wildcats would beat us in a game in the national semifinal, which hurts my heart to say truly
I
with
have
my
no
squad.
notes. I have no notes. That was great.
um and so yeah, so in a national championship game of the Cougars and the
Arizona.
Wildcats, two Big 12 foes, an all Big 12 national championship. We know who you got, but go ahead and lay out the case for your Cougars.
I mean, they're gonna be out for blood, man. Like they lost this team, and it's hard to beat a Houston team twice in the same season. I mean, like, um, or did they already beat them twice? They just beat them in the championship. So no, yeah, they beat them twice already. Can't hard to beat them three times, all right? Hard to beat them three times. So, I think Kelvin needs it, bro. Like he needs this
He's
championship.
earned it. He's earned it for sure.
Yes, and it's like I said, if there's any year, it would be this year, because this is the team that's been brewing. They got to the national championship last year against a stud Florida team. That's
Great team.
we might look back on that roster if like Chinulu goes to the NBA or Condon goes to the NBA, Thomas Howell goes to the NBA, and like
Yeah.
all these guys, Will Richards getting minutes, Elijah Martin's getting minutes, Walter Clayton's getting minutes. There's like you have a seven man rotation that all are all gonna be
League
roles in the
guys.
NBA, and they're all like men when they like were playing, like they're all men,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
like this is kind of like a similar team that Arizona has to Florida last year with like the
I
guard
agree.
play and with the experience and the bigs
Hmm.
and just being
Hmm.
physically imposing. But I think Houston just has that edge this year, man. I think they're just hungry. They know what's at stake here. They know the expectations. So I think it would be a
Absolutely.
great game. I think it would be a fantastic basketball game. But I would have to take the Cougars as I've done it all year. What kind of man would I be if I picked them to go to the national championship and have them lose?
That's very true. That's very true. I think, like you said, it would be a fireworks of a national championship game. I mean, I think these two teams, again, they know each other so well. Both coaches know each other so well. And I mean, just two teams from the best conference in America, just squaring off on the biggest stage that college basketball has to offer. And I mean, I think I've said it in episodes. Obviously, like you said, we talk about Kingston Flemings every ep. But I mean, I think he's gonna be what Walter Clayton was last year to March. Like he is the March guy. I think that he will show in every round of this tournament why he is one of the best freshmen in the country. I think like you have alluded to, the mix of having a Kingston Flemings and having a Kristen Ack, young players who are hungry and inexperienced, but are just confident players in their roles. Um, Infusing that with a JoJo Tugler and a Emmanuel Sharp and Miles Suzanne, of players that have been there before, been there, done that. And I mean, Emmanuel Sharp has a bad taste in his mouth. I mean, to last year and that ending in the national championship game, and I think all these guys want to get back and they want to do it for Kelvin, and they want to do it for themselves, and they want to do it for the University of Houston. And I think that that drive and that want to will be just that little bit stronger than Arizona. Who, I mean, I love Tommy Lloyd. I love the program that he's building. But I mean, I think there's a level of like you got to pay your dues a little bit, and you know, I mean, it's been a great 4 year run, and they've gotten better. They've had better. He's had better and better teams every single year, and with this being his best, but. I don't know if it's his time yet. And I mean, I had this mindset last year with Golden and being like, I don't know, like have they paid their dues? Like I don't know, but I think that I think that this is different facing a Kelvin Sampson with possibly his best offensive team, not his best defensive team, but I think they have the potential to be his first national champion and be the team that finally gets him over the hump, for a coach that's more than deserving, more than capable, and a team that really just has no holes in it. And I think that they have all the capabilities of hosting that trophy in Indianapolis on April 6th. So in a hypothetical world in which Houston and Arizona are playing for the national championship, I got the Cougars
Oh
winning it
yeah,
all,
hell yeah.
winning it all. And so I'm more than excited. I mean, Tuesday can't come fast enough to have this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the first Thursday of the NCAA tournament is the best day of the year. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
to just all the memories of watching shit in class, games in class, and even in college where we would just literally bum out from noon until the rest of the day, just watching games until fucking 10, 11 o'clock at night. I mean, it's gonna be a great weekend.
Wait, you got a 2 p.m.?
Um,
Nah, you're skipping that shit, bro.
you're
We're not going.
you're not going, like, and it's just it's about that time, and it's gonna be a great week from Tuesday on. So take your break, enjoy Monday, get everything squared away, get everything you need in
Yeah,
order, so that
yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're locked. We're no
This might be the worst. It
distractions.
could be the worst Monday of your life, but just know that the next day, the next days are gonna be one of the best. All right, the madness is
Truly,
here, and
the madness.
people are saying, oh, NIL killed the madness last year. The madness will be back. The madness will be back this year. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, viewers of this podcast. This tournament's gonna
the
deliver. All right.
This tournament will be great. I mean, just we went through all of the potential matchups, all of the potential performances that we could see from great players. I mean, I'm just so excited to get into this and to see what March has in store for us, because it's always magical, and I'm excited for the magic again. So we appreciate you guys tuning into this little emergency pod. You'll definitely see a lot more of these. We'll probably get a couple after, each weekend. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how our schedules line up. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate Matt staying up late with me.
Appreciate
Still
you.
longer slept since Sunday, but
Hell
we're
yeah.
here. March is here. The week is here. So
We sleep in May.
uh yeah, we sleep in May. We sleep in May, truly. So shout out you guys. We'll see you soon, and appreciate you for tuning in.